Good morning, students. Students, in our previous lectures on chemical properties of alcohol, we have done with you the two types of properties. The reactions involving the cleavage of OH bond and reactions involving the cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond. Today, we come and will discuss the third type of properties, which will be reactions involving both the cleavage of alkyl group and the hydroxyl group. In this, the first property we will be discussing is acidic dehydration. First property will be acidic dehydration property. So, acidic dehydration. How does acidic dehydration takes place? In fact, student, dehydration of alcohols in the presence of acid, it results in the formation of alkenes. So, this reaction basically becomes the method of preparation of alkenes. So, it is a formation of alkenes. Am I clear? So, if you take alcohols on dehydration in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, it will result in the formation of alkenes molecule. So, if we take alcohol will be CH, H and H. This will be C, OH, then H and then H. This is ethyl alcohol. So, if we take ethyl alcohol on dehydration in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, what will happen? A molecule of water will be given out. Am I clear? It's a property of dehydration, and this will result in the formation of ethene molecule. The product obtained will be ethene plus a molecule of water will be given out. So, it will result in the formation of a ethene molecule over here. So, product obtained over here will be ethene. So, if you take ethyl alcohol, this on dehydration in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, it will result in the formation of a ethene molecule. Similarly, if you take butane 2-ol, CH3, CH and then CH2, this is CH, then OH and then CH3. This compound is 2-butanol. 2-butanol on dehydration in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. What will happen? OH from here and H from here will be given out, and it will result in the formation of but-2-ene. The product obtained will be but-2-ene and the molecule of water will be given out. So, it will result in the formation of 2-butene. Tell me whether it is getting clear to you or not. Now, if I explain to you the mechanism of this dehydration reaction, this will follow the elimination reaction mechanism, where the reaction intermediate will be carbocation, and when the reaction intermediate is carbocation, the stability of carbocation concept will automatically come into play, and 3-degree carbocation will be more stable as compared to 2-degree as compared to 1-degree. So, if we go with the mechanism of dehydration reaction, mechanism of dehydration. In this mechanism of dehydration reaction, student, you must always remember that this reaction follows elimination reaction mechanism. In mechanism of dehydration, it will follow elimination reaction. What mechanism does it follow? Elimination reaction, in which if I try to explain in the various steps, step number 1 will be the protonation of alcohols. So in elimination reaction, the step 1 over here is protonation of alcohol. Protonation of alcohol. How does the protonation of alcohol takes place? Now here, which is an acid over here, it is sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid will ionize to produce the hydrogen ion and a bisulfate anion. So H2SO4 will ionize to form the hydrogen ion and bisulfate anion. Am I getting clear? Now alcohol, let me take ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol, if we take CH3, CH2 and then O and then this will be H. Am I clear? This is ethyl alcohol. The protonation of alcohol will take place. So it will react with the proton from an acid. And when it will react with proton from an acid, it will result in the formation of protonated alcohol. The product obtained will be CH3, CH2 and then OH2 will be obtained. So it will result in the formation of protonated alcohol. So product obtained over here is protonated alcohols. So it will result in the formation of protonated alcohol. Am I clear, student? So the product obtained is protonated alcohol. Now in the step number 2, alcohol will lose a water molecule and result in the formation of a carbocation. So step number 2 in this mechanism will be loss of water molecule occurs, which result in the formation of a carbocation. So step number 2, loss of water molecule takes place from protonated alcohol, occurs from protonated alcohols. It occurs from protonated alcohol forming reaction intermediate carbocation. Occurs from protonated alcohol forming reaction intermediate carbocation. Forming reaction intermediate, and this reaction intermediate will be carbocation. Forming the reaction intermediate carbocation. I think I shall be very clear. How does it take place? This protonated alcohol, it will lose a molecule of water. This will be CH3 and then CH2 and then O positive H2. This is protonated alcohol. This will lose a molecule of water, resulting in the formation of carbocation. So product obtained will be CH3, CH2 positive plus a molecule of water will be given. So product obtained over here will be, in this case, it is a carbocation which is ethyl carbocation. Tell me whether you are getting it clear or not. So it will result in the formation of ethyl carbocation. Now in step number 3, this carbocation will lose a proton, resulting in the formation of a alkene. So step number 3. Step 3, the carbocation so formed, it will lose proton, resulting in the formation of alkene. Carbocation loses proton. Carbocation loses proton. To form alkene. To form alkene. How? This is a carbocation. This is a carbocation. This carbocation will lose this proton, resulting in the formation of alkene. In fact, this bond will shift to this side, so it will be a formation of double bond, and this proton will be released. It will result in the formation of carbocation CH2, double bond CH2, plus H positive will be given out. This is a ethene molecule is formed, plus proton will be given out. Now this H positive so formed, this may again combine with the bisulfite ion, resulting in the formation of a sulfuric acid, HSO4 negative, and will result in the formation of sulfuric acid. Am I clear? Now reaction intermediate, carbocation. Stability of carbocation is directly proportional to plus I effect and directly proportional to number of hyperconjugating structure. You must apply this concept in solving the problem. Stability of carbocation is directly proportional to plus I effect and directly proportional to number of hyperconjugating structures. Directly proportional to plus I effect and directly proportional to number of hyperconjugating structures. Similarly, the stability of alkene is directly proportional to number of hyperconjugating structures. It is directly proportional to number of hyperconjugating structures. With this concept in mind, we come to know that 3-degree alcohol carbocations are more stable as compared to 2-degree as compared to 1-degree. Am I clear? As for example, if you take this one, CS3, C, CS3, H, then CH, and then OH, and then CS2, and then CS3. Suppose we carry out the dehydration in presence of acid. There are two possible answers. One double bond may come over here or the double bond may come over here. So what will be the correct answer? In this case, if we write down this way, CS3, C, CS3, then double bond CH, then CH2, and then CS3. Or over here, if OH is removed from here and H is removed from here, we may get the answer this way. This can be this answer. This will be CS3, C, CS3, H, CH, double bond CH, and CS3. Now, which is the major answer? If I look over here, this double bond, 3, 3, 6, and 2, 8 hyperconjugating structure. Over here, 3 and 1, 4 hyperconjugating structure. So these alkenes are more stable than this. So this over here will be a major product, and this will supposed to be the minor product. Further, here what will be the carbocation form? In this case, it will be 3-degree carbocation. In this case, it will be 2-degree carbocation. So this is how the dehydration of alcohols take place. Further, you must remember that greater the conjugation, greater will be the stability, and hence more will be the ease of a dehydration. Further, student, take it as a note. Greater the conjugation, greater will be the stability due to resonance, and hence more will be the ease of dehydration. Greater the conjugation. Greater will be the stability. Greater will be the stability due to resonance. Greater the conjugation, greater will be the stability due to resonance. Hence, more will be the ease of dehydration. Hence, more will be the ease of dehydration. Will be the ease of dehydration. What does it mean? Mean to say, after dehydration the alkenes are formed and conjugated alkenes are more stable than non-conjugated alkenes. So, alkenes leading to the formation of a conjugated product will be more easily dehydrated as compared to the other. As for example, if I say CH3 and then we have CHOH, CH3, CHOH and then CH, double bond CH2. This compound is prop 2 in, this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is but 3 in 2-ol. Now, we take but 3 in 2-ol or we take butane 2-ol, CH3, CHOH and then CH2 and CH3. If I ask you which of the two will be more easily dehydrated, suppose this is first and this is second. So, question is arrange in decreasing order of dehydration. Arrange in decreasing order of dehydration. Arrange in the decreasing order of dehydration. Now, just see student, if this is dehydrated in presence of acid, OH will be eliminated from here, H from here. The product obtained will be CH2, double bond CH and then CH double bond CH2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be buta 1,4-diene. Now, if we dehydrate from here in presence of acid, this will be eliminated, this will be eliminated. The product obtained will be CH3CH, double bond CH and this will be CH3. The product obtained over here will be but2ene. Yes, which of the two alkene is more stable? This one as compared to this. Because there is a conjugation in this, as the two double bonds are separated by the single bond. So, this is more stable. Hence, out of these two, first and second, which will be more easily dehydrated, first will be more easily dehydrated as compared to second. Am I clear? So, more is the conjugation, more is the stability due to resonance, and ease will be the dehydration. As for example, if I take, this was A part, if I take this one, we take these alcohols and we have to arrange them in the decreasing order of dehydration. This is this OH. Second one over here will be this one. And third will be cyclohexanol. Now, if these undergo dehydration, just see over here, in presence of acid, here again the molecule of water was given out, here again the molecule of water was given out. This is also dehydrated in presence of acid. This is also dehydrated in presence of acid. From here, the molecule of water will be given out. Here again, the molecule of water will be given out. Here again, the molecule of water will be given out. How will this take place? This will result in the formation of this compound. Double bond, double bond, double bond. Here, this will result in the formation of this compound. And here, it will result in the formation of this compound. Is it clear? This is more conjugated as compared to this, as compared to this. So, what will be the ease of dehydration? Suppose this is first, this is second, and this is third. First structure will be more easily dehydrated as compared to second, which will be more easily dehydrated as compared to third. Is it clear? These kinds of question will come to you. You must note one more thing, student. I have explained to you dehydration in the presence of acid. However, when the vapors of alcohols are passed over vapors of alumina, then also the process of a dehydration will take place, resulting in the formation of alkenes. As a note, you may write down, student, over here, vapors of alcohol when passed over alumina, passed over aluminium oxide at the temperature of 533 Kelvin, dehydration occurs. Here in this case also dehydration occurs and alkenes are formed. Dehydration occurs and alkenes are formed. You may see an example over here. If you take ethyl alcohol, vapors of ethyl alcohol when passed over aluminium oxide at the temperature of 533 Kelvin, molecule of water will be given out. It will result in the formation of ethene molecule and the molecule of water will be given out. Tell me whether I am getting it clear for you or not. Is it clear? So, in the reactions involving alkyl group and the hydroxyl group, the one reaction that we have done is a dehydration reaction. There is one more reaction, and this is a dehydrogenation reaction. This is again under the same heading, dehydrogenation reaction. That is the reactions involving both alkyl group and hydroxyl group. So, reactions involving both alkyl group and the hydroxyl group. This is a dehydrogenation reaction. Now, students, when alcohols are dehydrogenated by passing over copper at the temperature of 573 Kelvin, they may result in the formation of aldehydes or ketones. Just see over here. Dehydrogenation means removal of hydrogen. If you take primary alcohol, RCH2OH, primary alcohol when undergo dehydrogenation by passing over a copper at the temperature of 573 Kelvin, it will result in the formation of aldehyde plus hydrogen in the form of a gas will be given out. As for example, if we take ethyl alcohol is CH3CH2OH. When vapors of ethyl alcohol are passed over copper at 573 Kelvin, it will result in the formation of acetaldehyde plus hydrogen in the form of a gas. The product obtained is acetaldehyde. In fact, this becomes a method of preparation of aldehyde and a property of alcohols. This is 1 degree alcohol. This was aldehyde. Now, if we take 2 degree alcohols, these are RCHOH. This is 2 degree alcohol. 2-degree alcohol when undergo dehydrogenation by passing over copper at the temperature of 573 Kelvin. The product obtained will be ketones R, C double bond O plus hydrogen in the form of a gas will be given out. It will result in the formation of ketones. As for example, if we take isopropyl alcohol, CH3CH3 and then CHOH. Isopropyl alcohol when react with copper at the temperature of 573 Kelvin. It will result in the formation of acetone molecule. The product obtained over here will be acetone and hydrogen in the form of a gas. Is it getting clear? This is isopropyl alcohol. So, isopropyl alcohol when undergo dehydrogenation, it will result in the formation of acetone. Now, 3-degree alcohol in fact undergo dehydration and result in the formation of alkenes. Remember this case, if you take 3-degree alcohol, they will undergo dehydration and forms alkene. As a note you may write down, 3-degree alcohols undergoes dehydration with copper, in presence of copper, at 573 Kelvin to form alkenes. As for example, if we take this one CH3, CH3, OH and H. This is 3-degree alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol. When undergo dehydrogenation with copper at 573 Kelvin, it will result in the formation of butene molecule and the molecule of water will be given out. The product obtained will be butene molecule plus water molecule will be given out. So, the product will be obtained 1, 2, 3. So, it is 2-methylpropene. The product obtained is 2-methylpropene. Am I clear? This is how the dehydrogenation reaction takes place. So, student, today we have done with you the reactions involving both alkyl group and the hydroxyl group, in which we have done the dehydration and the dehydrogenation reaction. So, 3 types of reactions are done: reaction involving the cleavage of OH bond, reaction involving the cleavage of carbon-oxygen bond, and the reaction involving both the alkyl group and the hydroxyl group. I hope you must have understood this. In our next lecture, we will discuss some oxidation reactions and some more reactions of alcohol to sum up the chemical properties of alcohol. After that, we will be starting discussion with the properties of a phenol. Till then, thank you.